Hello everyone, welcome to more Final Fantasy XIV. This episode and the next episode are at current the only episodes that are left of the episodes that I lost the audio to. So hopefully, things will be back to normal starting at episode 14. So I'm commenting currently on the fact that I did the DPS Hall of the Novice off camera, because originally I had done, in the previous episode, I had done the tank Hall of the Novice on camera, but I decided, because I had lost the audio, and really, it's boring, I just cut that section out, which is why that episode was so much shorter. But here, because I hadn't done that yet, I was commenting that, hey, by the way, I just went ahead and did that off camera. So back from your meeting with Rauban, are you? What did the big man have to say? Is that a fact? Personal envoy of the Flame General himself. So you'll be bearing the great man's words to leaders of the Alliance, will you? And by airship. Bugger me, that's an honor and a half, that is. But I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. I'm proud of you, Kazumi. I truly am. Now, I dare say Rauban told you this, but not many people get to go on airships these days. In fact, most folk go to their graves having never once seen Eorzea from above. Poor buggers shuffle off to meet Thal, having never known the blues of Limsa's shimmering seas, or the myriad greens of leafy Gridania. But not you, Kazumi. You'll see those sights and more, and everywhere you go, you'll find fascinating folk with fascinating tales to tell. And the people you meet, the places you go, savor these experiences, for they are priceless, all. Saying that, I'd be remiss of me if I didn't remind you to be careful out there. Ul'dah ain't the only place beset by troubles, as you'll discover when you visit Limsa and Gridania. Truth be told, that might well be exactly what the General wants you to realize. I think he knows what kind of woman you are, Kazumi. And what kind's that, you ask? Why, the kind that can't resist sticking her nose in other people's business, of course. Don't you ever go changing. Safe travels, Kazumi. I'll see you when you get back. Alright. Off to Limsa first, I think? I know we have to head off to the airship landing regardless. So let's head on over in that direction. And I realized I think I'm realizing, wait a minute, I do this regularly too, but I go out the wrong door of the Adventurers Guild all the time. I'm like, wait a minute, the Ethernet shard's on the other side. So let's head off to the airship landing. And hop aboard an airship. Eleonora. Greetings, madam. This is the reservation counter for passengers traveling to Limsa. If I'm not mistaken, you are the Flame General's envoy, Kazumi Arata, yes? Highwind Skyways is at your service. Will you be flying with us today? I just realized that's Momodi's voice. Oops. Oh well. Alright. And board the airship. There's a player over there that's currently in this cutscene that we're about to see. Attention all passengers. The airship bound for Limsa is about to depart. Please make your way to the boarding gate. I still think it's weird that the gangplank doesn't like come up, you know, the stairs. It just sticks out off the side. There's Thancred. Watch it as we head out. When first we met beneath the Sultan tree, I sensed there was something unusual about her. Wonder if they will feel the same. Yes, there's your... If you hadn't realized, that was, oh, what was her name? I don't even remember now. But yeah, the girl that was under the Sultan tree, that was her. Godspeed, Kazumi. Godspeed. If I'm right, they'll be singing your praises from here to the far reach before long. May you always walk in the light of the crystal. Meanwhile, Castrum Occidens. This part is so cool. I'm gonna, like, be quiet for this. Oh yeah, I forgot I hid my avatar. Oops. I'm gonna be quiet for this.
A blighted realm, riddled with false gods. Twice now it has eluded the Empire's grasp. For all the destruction it wrought, even Meteor, the great sin, failed to yield us control over it. And for this failure, the realm has sunk deeper into depravity. It is twisted beyond all reckoning, rotten nigh to the core. Yet, it must be saved. Only Garlean rule can bring order to Eorzea. It falls to us to deliver the misguided masses from their ignorance.
We are of one mind, Lord Van Balzar.
Senior engineers, please report to Magitech research following scheduled inspection.
Is the Legatus really planning to take another tilt at the Eorzea?
Hey? What hole have you been hiding in? We're in the midst of preparing for a new campaign, and a huge one at that.
But I thought the Emperor had given up the Western lands for lost after Cartano. What could the Legatus possibly hope to gain by acting alone?
I sense you harbor certain doubts over the wisdom of the Legatus' plan.
My lord!
Please, call me Nero. Tell me, where were you born?
Ul'dah, my lord.
Alamigo, my lord.
Ah, codename Hummingway, I presume.
I don't know what you...
Silence. Your denials will not change your fate. I assure you, Frumentarium sees all. Clean up this mess, and do not miss any, or I shall be most displeased.
At once, my lord.
Garland, soon you will be made to know the true power of Magitech.
All right. And there I am again. So, yeah. That's, how about them cutscenes? I was able to get the audio back for those, luckily. It was the only section I was able to get, which is why you can see that it actually, like, matched up. Like, my, me talking and everything, like, it all matched up. Like, so it was, I love that I was able to get that. Unfortunately, it was the only part I was able to get back. So, it's okay. Next episode should be the last time that we're missing the audio from the game. And then we'll be back to normal videos. But yeah, so that shows us our villains. So, but who are they? Ah, you must be the envoy from Ul'dah. Welcome to Limsa, madam. Admiral Blufuswin awaits your arrival. Is the landing area? But yes, honestly, I love the story in this game. It's amazing. It really is. You are the Ul'dah envoy. Welcome to Limsa. The Admiral has been looking forward to your arrival. Please proceed to the crow's lift at your earliest convenience. It will take you to Bulwark Hall. Once there, pray speak with Xanthiel. He will be pleased to show you to the Admiral's command room on the bridge. Speak with the Storm Honor Guard. Alright. Yeah, we're heading down to the Drowning Wench. I think I was commenting like, oh, you can go to 2 different places here. But the first place we need to go is down to the Drowning Wench. Oh yeah, because I was commenting that you could go straight to Bulwark Hall, right there. But I wanted to run around Limsa and hit the Aetherytes. And also, like, holy crap, like, look at the fog in the game right now. Like, this is insane. I have never seen it like this, except for when I was recording it this day. I was just like, what the heck? Like, I've never seen this kind of fog. Like, it's ridiculous. So, but of course, before we can do anything, we have to stop and hit our Aetherytes. So now this is the Marauders Guild. If we were going to pick up a tanking class or we wanted to start a tanking class as like our beginning character, and we wanted to start in Limsa, this is where we would come. We're not going to pick up Marauder yet. We might later on in the game. They will probably go through everything later on in the game, but at the moment, I'm only going to pick up 2 classes, or jobs as they're referred to as here in Final Fantasy XIV. But we're only going to pick up 2 jobs off of Limsa, and that's because they are my 2 favorite storylines in the game, honestly, at least so far. This is the Culinarian's Guild. This is where we can pick up cooking, the culinary job, as it's referred to as, one of the Disciple of the Hand classes, or jobs. I need to remember calling them jobs, because it's Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy uses the term job. So, but yeah, that's where you can pick up the Culinarian. This is the Drowning Wench. This is essentially the Adventurers Guild of Limsa. It's the equivalent of Momodi's place in Ul'dah, right? So, and let's go ahead and attune to what is called the Aft Castle. Down there at the bottom, you can see both the Blacksmiths and the Armorers Guild. Another couple of Disciple of the Hand jobs. Eventually we will probably pick those up. It depends on what you guys have said about, well, not just, the guys. I'm trying to get myself to say you, all of you instead of you guys, because I know I just like getting, misgendered, as it were. I know that can be like a gender neutral term, but it's not actually to me. And I need to work better on that. Anyway, that's everything. That's all of the Aetherites that are on the upper decks. So now down to the lower decks, where we can pick up the other Aetherites. And it's going to take it a moment to load here, because Limsa tends to be the biggest and most player-filled city, at least out of the Realm Reborn cities that I've seen. There are literally so many people here. Not just here in the Aetherite Plaza, which is where a lot of them are, but during, especially the time that I was recording this, well, no, maybe not the time I was recording this, because because that's local time at the top. But you can already see that there's a lot of, people here in the Hawker's Alley, and this is the shop area. Equivalent to the Sapphire Avenue or whatever it was called in Ul'dah. Hawker's Alley is the same thing. It's where you can go to hit up all the shops. There's so many people here though. During the day especially, both of these areas where the shops are will be literally filled with 300-400 players at least. It is ridiculous. So it is honestly it's the hardest place to load for my computer because of that. So Arcanist Guild, yay! Now we can run over here to Milvin's Gate and pick up the first of our jobs. Welcome to the Arcanist Guild. It is here that we research and develop the field of Arcanima. Alright, Arcanima is the science of employing arcane geometries intricate patterns that map the unlocked mysteries of existence to draw forth and manipulate the body's etheric energies. If you prefer an arcane art built on structured thought and precise reasoning, then your discerning intellect may find a home here at our guild. Might you consider enrolling yourself as an initiate? Sure. Haha, just as I predicted. Before we proceed any further, however, let us first feed your appetite for knowledge with a morsel of guild history. The roots of Arcanima can be traced back to the esoteric calculations practiced by the people of the South Sea Isles. It was there these island folk that first discovered a method to express natural phenomena in mathematical terms. Building on this process, the existing mathematical formulae were further developed into arcane geometries, precise patterns that allowed a practitioner to weave aether into specific magical effects. The mages who invoked this new form of magic became known as arcanists, and the School of Arcanima was born. Many such mages, wishing to expand their understanding of the world, took to the seas aboard trading vessels. Upon their arrival in Limsa, arcanists found themselves welcomed into the academic elite and soon secured positions in the realms of governance and council. The knowledge of an arcanist, however, is traditionally passed on from master to chosen disciple. As such, Admiral Merlewib, counting several wielders of Arcanima among her personal staff, became concerned that this exclusionary practice would lead to the eventual extinction of the art. So, at the Admiral's express orders, an official Arcanist Guild was established and the funding was provided for research and training. The complex and demanding nature of Arcanima, however, remains the greatest threat to its own future. If you invite such cerebral challenges, then you have to reaffirm your commitment to joining the guild. You have but to reaffirm. Going through our dialogue is hard. Have you decided to enroll in our guild, or are you now intimidated by the thought of excessive thinking? Yeah, going through her dialogue tripped me up many times, even in the original recording. So, yeah, my favorite character though. Your sound judgment is to be commended. Now, standard practice dictates that I introduce you to our guildmaster that you might convey your intentions in person. Due to extraordinary circumstances, however, he is unreachable at present. Instead, you may speak with Mistress Thubbergreen. She has shouldered full responsibility for the guild's leadership in the interim. You'll find her just over there by the bookshelves. You needn't be shy. Though her mind is sharp and critical, her manner is always most welcoming. Yeah, quest accepted. Hi, Thubbergreen. Well, she is the acting guildmaster because the guildmaster's who knows where. Yes, I'm Thubbergreen. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. As Miri has doubtlessly explained, I am serving as acting guildmaster until our wayward leader deigns to return. I assume our capable receptionist also spoke of our art's origins. Allow me then to expound upon its nature. Arcanima taps into the living energies of ether. The evidence of this is represented most aptly, perhaps, by our ability to manifest the arcane entity Carbuncle, and the manner of magic which this ethereal ally employs at our command. And the core of the discipline, however, is found in the pursuit of definitive solutions to any potential quandary. Even on the field of battle, nay, especially on the field of battle, this principle takes precedence. If one wishes to make certain the question of victory, then one must apply the most effective strategy. An Arcanist is measured by her ability to calmly analyze the situation from moment to moment and respond with the most appropriate spells at hand. A study of Arcanima will test your mental faculties to the point of perplexity. Are you prepared to reason your way through predicament after predicament? Are you prepared to reason? Sure. An unambiguous response, the kind I most prefer. Let us now see if the clarity of your words is matched by the sharpness of your mind. Here, take this grimoire in hand, and we shall next judge your aptitude for our discipline. Yay! Quest complete. Arcanist unlocked. Number of available gear sets has increased. Yay! And now I am doing everything incorrectly, but that's fine. Go ahead and equip that. Oh no. And now we're naked. What a surprise! I do love that, like, you just end up straight up friggin' in your underwear because of that. Go ahead and move the gear set up there. I think I'm commenting on the fact that she's got nothing on and doing having Kazumi comment like, it's perfectly fine, I don't mind, because that's, the personality I've given to Kazumi, so. The first grimoire, acting Guildmaster Thurbergreen wants you to... It's a hefty tome, is it not? I promise you, a grimoire's weight becomes a comforting anchor amidst the shifting seas of battle, a fact you will soon discover. In Lower Lenasia, you will find, among others, 3 species of pest: wharf rats, little ladybugs, and Aurelia. I ask that you employ your fledgling skill in Arcanima to eradicate 3 of each type of creature. Leave the city through the Tempest Gate, and you will soon encounter the potential targets in abundance. So, as long as you remain focused, I do not foresee your opponents causing you or your budding talents undue difficulty. Once you return from completing the preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanist Guild. And then there was another line, and I missed it, but that's fine. Joys of having to re-record this and having to say all of the lines in the length of time that I said them previously. Here I'm commenting, wait, am I missing another Aetheryte? And I'm like, oh yes, I'm missing the Fisherman's Guild. In fact, when I opened that up and looked, I realized, oh, that's right, they changed it in Endwalker, so it tells you, like, where all of the Aetherytes are, or all the shards are, and just looking at that, I was able to note, oh yeah, that's literally the only one left. I could have just looked there. Also, nice little shortcut there. I think that's cool. There's only so many shortcuts that you can make, but that's one of them. Or take, not make. I clicked on the Aetheryte like 3 times. It didn't do anything. Yeah! You've attuned yourself to the Ethernet shards in Limsa. Zephyr Gate, Tempest Gate, and Airship Landing are now accessible as Ethernet destinations. And I knew at that point that I had done it because when you get these cutscenes, you're unable to move. So I was like, yep, okay. Originally, I had thought that I had done it when I picked up the Arcanists, but I was wrong. So, and I did originally comment on that, but obviously, I didn't have the audio for that. So, off to Lower Lenasia to kill the 3 enemies that we need. The little ladybugs, the wharf rats, and the... what was it? The Aurelia. I had to actually look up at the quest dialogue there for a moment, so... And as per normal, it counts as both killing for the quest and as killing for the words. The hunting log. That's what it was. And there I was commenting on the fact that now we got Carbuncle, and Carbuncle is more or less completely useless this early on. In Endwalker, they changed the Summoner / Arcanist so that Carbuncle doesn't actually do anything by itself anymore. It does the Radiant Aegis, which is like a shield. But other than doing the Radiant Aegis, it doesn't actually do anything else. It used to attack, but it doesn't do that anymore. And I was just pointing out the Mossless Gobu, because I think in a previous episode I had noted that there was high-level enemies that you were able, or that are part of the hunting log, but are always in the beginner zone. So, and here I'm commenting that I'm gonna, try running through as much of the hunting log as I can. I wanted to get up to level 10 on the 2 classes here in Limsa before we went and left Limsa, which I do succeed in doing, luckily. It's super easy this early on. And it just kind of becomes easier the higher level your, like, highest level class is. So, it's really, really not difficult at all to, like, level other jobs, as they're referred to as. So, back to Limsa, because we've killed all the things that we needed. Though I might not... I don't remember. Did I have enough experience to get to level 5 from the quest? I think I commented that. I was like, I don't think I'm going to have enough experience to get to level 5 off this quest. I don't remember. I don't think I had enough experience in the end. And I had to, like, redo it. Or not redo it, but I, like, had to go back and, like, kill 2 enemies. Or maybe I went to Western Lanasia for that. I guess we'll find out. I'm speculating about what I'm going to do, even though I was the one that did it. Oh boy. Like, you're all sitting here speculating about what I'm going to do. I'm the one that did all this stuff, and even I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, it's so bad. Only one more episode after this, and then we'll be back to recording properly again. I know what happened, I know why it happened, so now I know what to look for, you know, to make sure it doesn't do that. I see the creatures beyond the city walls pose you little threat. It is with great pleasure, then, that I formally recognize your initiation into the guild. From this day forth, you may proudly bear the title of Arcanist. I suggest you continue your forays into the wilderness and keep the pages of your grimoire turning. There's no finer teacher than the harsh mistress of your experience. And when you feel you can command Carbuncle as easily as you might use your own limbs, return to me for further instruction. I will be waiting. Yay! Nope, I didn't get to level 5. So yeah, originally Carbuncle actually did things, and that's why she's like, make sure you learn how to use Carbuncle. Except that, you know, Carbuncle doesn't do things anymore, so it's completely useless. Rather, it's like Carbuncle is not completely useless because it has the Aegis. But still. Sorry, I got a message. Oh, I see. I got a message on my phone just now. And I was checking to see what the heck I had just gotten messaged. But yeah, here I'm killing the lost lambs, which are part of the, you know, the hunting log, you know, getting them taken care of. And yeah, I got it just from killing the lambs. I didn't even need to, like, complete the hunting log entry, so. But we'll complete the hunting log entry before we go back anyway, so. But yeah, I was thinking I ended up going to Western Lanasia, and I think when I do Rogue, I think I, like, ensure that I hit, like, high enough experience, but I don't remember. It's been too long. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Chocobo. So Limsa's usually the starting city, so I forget that I actually needed to hit the Chocobo Porter. And there I was checking because I thought I remembered being able to rent Chocobos. Maybe that's something when you hit like level 20 or something, I don't know. And there's me trying to see if I actually need to upgrade my gear or not. But I didn't yet because I had nothing yet for cloth classes because, you know, we haven't had a cloth class yet. And here I'm just making sure I'm putting Arcanist in the right slot, which I am. And I'm probably making a comment about that. Oh, I'm commenting on how Arcanist will eventually turn into Scholar. And then also that our quest is right there, which confused me for a second. The Ul'dah Envoy quest is literally right there, so... and here is a person that you can buy, like, starting gear from. You know, Huron, Elazin, Mikote, Lalafell, all that. You get, like, the hempen camise as well, along with the hempen pantalets, or underpants and undershirt if you're playing a male character. I prefer the way that they look on, like, humans and other races. So it's a little unfortunate. Just because, like, the Mikote actually have a unique model. All of the other races get the same, like, version of the hempen camise. And, yeah, the hempen pieces there. But the Mikote have, like, their own unique version, their own unique model for it. And I vastly prefer literally, like, every other race's. Just because it's sexier, I guess, in my opinion. So, I think that's what I was commenting on just there, but I don't know for sure. Acting Grandmaster Thorbergreen, wish to assess your improvement of your Arcanima skills. Ha, Kazumi, isn't it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leads to hurried judgment. I must oft remind my arcanists to take meals. So when skunks do they become in their studies? Speaking of such, have you been practicing your tactics with Carbuncle? I believe it is time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Linasia. 3 wild dodos and 3 tiny mandragoras, to be precise. Which are also part of the hunting log, I think. I think I'm commenting. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents. Formulate an effective strategy and utilize your arcane entity to its fullest potential. I expect you back in time for dinner. Yay, quest accepted. Da 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 da. Because, you know, the fanfare doesn't play because there's no audio. Wish I could have gotten the audio for all of this, but I couldn't. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, and off we go, because we have to go in this direction. Again, I think these mobs are also part of the hunting log as well, if I recall. Oh yeah, this fate pops up. I'm like, oh, I'll go take care of this fate real quick. It's extra experience. We're the right level for these freaking, you know, the toads here. And this becomes a whole thing. Because these stupid cane toads, like, once you aggro one, like, they pull you close like that. And then because it's a fate, they're all aggressive. Yeah, see how it's going? Like, I aggroed one, and now I've got like 12 on me here. And every single time that they aggro, the first thing they do, if they're a certain, like, if they're beyond a certain distance away, the first thing they do is pull you towards them like that. So here I am, like, trying to cast spells, except I'm constantly getting interrupted because they're pulling me towards them. I'm just like, oh my god, stop. Oh, it's great. I loved this. This was so fun. Like, I was laughing the entire time because I actually thought it was really funny at the time. Because I was sitting there agonizing and just being like, oh my god, stop pulling me, you know. Of course we have, what is that? I missed the name. It's like Tilia or something. Talaiha Hiko. So, yeah. Something like that. Hey, Transcage earned. Okay. So now we can actually do some stuff with Carbuncle, which is great. Also, I just put skills in the wrong slots. I will end up fixing that later. But first, let's move the trance gauge down here so that it's not in the middle of the screen. Thank you very much. I missed to move my... Oh wait, am I going back and getting it? Yeah, I was going to say I missed to move the aether flow gauge, which is very important as well. Otherwise it's again in the middle of the screen. But I did get it, so... But now, my carbuncle can actually do something, because now we have Ether Charge and Gem Shine, which I have in completely the wrong slot at the moment. Yep, there I go. I put them in the wrong slots. So Ether Charge is supposed to be in slot 5, whereas Gem Shine is supposed to... Yeah, there we go. I just switched them. Gem Shine is supposed to be in 2. That's the way I like to have them anyway. So, Gem Shine basically when you use Ether Charge and then you summon your other carbuncles, Gem Shine becomes an aspected version of Ruin. Whichever Ruin is your highest level, and so like for Ruby, for example, it'll turn into Ruby Ruin, and it takes longer to cast, but it deals more damage and it deals fire aspected damage. Now the issue is that in order to use that, you have to Ether Charge. And despite the fact that Ether Charge has absolutely nothing at all to do with the enemies, you can't use it like preemptively. You have to be in combat to use it. And it's really, really annoying. And I hate everything about it. And honestly, Ruby Ruin does about the same amount of damage as just casting 2 Ruin spells. It might be good if an enemy's like weak to fire or weak to wind or something, but I don't know of very many enemies that are. So, yeah. Here I'm just collecting wind sprites for the thing. And then forgetting that I don't have Ruin 2, because Ruin 2 is an instant cast. Ruin 1 is not. And I forgot for a second that I didn't have Ruin 2. So I tried to cast and hit Ruin, and that didn't work at all. Now I'm picking up the Tiny Mandragoras for the quest line as well. I believe there's a Fate just to the north that I tried to go after, but it only had like 30 seconds left when I got there. Something like that. So, but yeah, you can see it's like you hit Ruby, Carbuncle, and it summons the Ruby Carbuncle, which runs forward, does an attack, it gives you the Ruby Ruin, and then it goes away and you get regular Carbuncle. And then you have to wait like 2 minutes to be able to do any of that over again. It gets less annoying when you get to higher levels, and you have like 3 different summons to switch between. But it, like, when you just have the Ruby, it's really, really, like, it really sucks. So, oh, it's got 5 seconds left. That's funny. I'm like, hey, I'll get these cave bats. That'll work. Fate failed. I think, like, when it happened, I was like, oh, I didn't realize, because I hadn't looked over at the right side there, so I didn't even realize that it only had 5 seconds left when I got there. But since I was already here, and the cave bats were right there, I was like, you know, I can, you know, stop and pick off, you know, 3 of these real fast for the hunting log. It won't get me to level 10, even with the quest, but it'll get me closer to level 10, you know. And so I would, stop and pick those off real fast. And then I think head back. I don't remember if I headed straight back or not. Because I think there was something else nearby that I could also pick to do, get, put up or push up my hunting log further, but I don't recall. It looks like we're running, it looks like we are headed back to Limsa though. I think I'm commenting on the whole ether charge and summon Ruby and summon Carbuncle while I'm running back. Why am I running back instead of, teleporting back? I don't remember. I think I just forgot. Which is of course why I'm now teleporting back. Because I think I just, forgot. So. I think I just forgot that, oh yeah, I can just teleport. And then off to the Arcanist Guild. And we can we can turn in our quest. Except wait, it's still blue, not green, which means there's something more still to come. I wonder what. Welcome back, Kazumi. It appears your coordination with Carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test your growing acumen with a more practical examination? I think I'm commenting that Carbuncle doesn't do anything. Our work at Milvin's Gate requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I've had several crates transported to the cliffs south of the Zephyr Gate. I want you to examine those crates and return the inspected cargo here to me. You would be surprised at the depths to which some merchants will sink to deter our customs agents from performing thorough investigations. False bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, flesh-eating vilekin. I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality. But yeah, like I said, Carbuncle used to actually, do stuff. It used to attack, and then you would switch between different Carbuncles, depending on the type of attack. But it doesn't do that anymore. Carbuncle just sits there completely uselessly. And it really, really sucks. And I hate it. And also, here's the Lost Lambs. When I was killing the Lost Lambs, I also actually had commented, there's also a fate right here that's usually running that you can get, easy low-level Lost Lambs off of. And here it is. But also, you have to be careful because this fate occurs right next to a mossless Gubu. You don't want to tab target while you're doing this fate because it will tab target the mossless Gubu first instead of the Lost Lambs. And then you will anger the mossless Gubu. I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose though. I think that's the whole point, is that the mossless Gubu is there, and you're going to attack it if you, tab target. And it's supposed to be teaching you, hey, be careful where you're, clicking and stuff like that. But yes, if you tab target during that fate, it will target the mossless Gubu most of the time. It's not done on, it targeting the Gubu isn't done on purpose. It's just the way that the system works, is that it turns around and it targets the Gubu. So, at least in my experiences, so. Tree slugs! And see, now this is where having the Carbuncle was that could attack was actually useful. Because it would sit here and fight the tree slugs. While you were, trying to, retreat from them and get out of their way and stuff. It would be sitting here unleashing attacks. And the original Carbuncle used to unleash an AoE attack, which would then deal damage to both of them, and it made that fight a lot easier. And also, I love this. I love her. I love her so much. Who are you? I am not a threat. Pray, ignore my presence for the present and allow me a moment to cogitate. Excuse me, I made that mistake previously too. I love her. Like, all I could say was I love her the entire time. The reaction to my sudden appearance was within expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect so proficient a performance against the enemy set against you. Yet, effective though your techniques were, I spied much room for improvement. As I watched you battle, the wheels of my mind whirled into motion, as they are wont to do, inventing other possible strategies you might have employed. I love her so much. Seriously. This is my favorite character. Let's see. Taking into account your current level of ability, factoring in the etheric constant, multiplying by the number of opponents, and applying your tactics to other potential combat scenarios. Oh dear, my calculations indicate failure upon encountering threat level 9,785. The calculations indicate failure, that's what I meant to say. And there she is. Now we see her. Now we actually see her. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. I love her so much. Though the opportune moment to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I am Clea, a Milvin's Gate Assessor. Acting Grandmaster Thurbergame elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instruction to the field of Arcanima. She is so much my favorite character. I love her. From what I've observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp of the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail. Regarding your choice of arcane geometries, what factor most influences your actions during battle? Desire to outwit an enemy, potential for amusement, I simply do what feels right. Potential for amusement. My potential for amusement. Aha! Just as I predicted, now I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an arcanist of note is 90%, give or take 0.5%. Don't worry, we will. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responded to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed upon me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. While our inscrutable leader is, as I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence, he did leave us with the most notorious saying to date. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one situation into the desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality that might cause us to suddenly become mighty arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue to focus on refining your aptitude with Carbuncle. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as a wielder of Arcanima. Here ends your lesson for today. Pray, return directly to the guild. I believe Mistress Thurbergame is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactics I reasoned out earlier must be attempted in real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there's no substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. I love her so much. I love her so much. Bye, Clea. I'm so upset that she's only in the Arcana storyline and never appears again, because I love her so much. She is my favorite character in this whole game, at least out of what I've played so far. Granted, I've only gotten up to the beginning of Heavensward content, so I only know Realm Reborn, but throughout all of Realm Reborn, she is absolutely number one, the top tier character in my opinion. She is my absolute favorite character, and I love her so much. But we'll meet my second favorite character. I don't think we actually encounter her in this episode, because I think she actually makes her first dialogue I think her first dialogue is in the level 10 rogue quest line. But yes, the two of my favorite characters, and dare I say my favorite area of the game as a whole, is here, Limsa. It's just, I like it the best. So, Kazumi, have you returned with the cargo? There you go. Oh yeah, the letter to the Admiral and letter to the Ul'dah are also in my key inventory. Yes, everything seems to be in order, relatively clear of blood and other gore. That can be something of a problem in our profession, you understand. I also had word from Clea regarding your performance. She seemed eager to continue your training. An old lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You would do well to heed the instructions she offers, particularly that which touches on a diligent approach to our art. Did you perhaps notice the battered tome Clea carries? The Initiate's grimoire has served her from the day she entered this guild. She has her reasons, but it's admittedly strange to see it kept all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I feel such an intense focus on Arcanima has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our Master Strategist guides your Arcanist's training, hope that you might return the favor and help to broaden her own perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters for the moment. You have done well this day, Kazumi. Continue your practice with Carbuncle as Clea has bid. I'll be here when the time comes for your next lesson. Yay! I can pick up the custom-made robe of casting, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to pick up the hempen hat, because it's actually better to get the hat, because the hat gives you more stats than switching out the robe. And also, now we kind of have a little bit of a witchy look, magey look, you know. Wizardy look, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, basically. Because now we have a wizard's hat. Yay! Nice, I like that pose. Alright, so let's head off. Actually, this is a good spot to end the episode off at, which is what I think I'm about to do. So, check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. Check Patreon, all that stuff. I'm completely blanking on my outro. My apologies. And next time, we will continue on to another quest line. With that, I'll see you all next time. See you later. There's the wave. No, wait. Yep, okay. Salute.